We are live. Right on time, too. Who all got here after I did? Unfinished Project and Lars are here. Unfinished Project says 30 for 30. For those of you who don't know, we challenged the No Name 500 guys. There's 8 of them still running. We challenged them to do a short every day for what amounts to the next 30 days. I said through the 4th of July. And several of them are doing it, and I think it's great. And they are already getting results. You can see it. You can see all of them on my main page. Their sub numbers are jumping. Cope says the shop's closed. That picture is from Cope Racing Transmission. He just got several buckets of that gold-plated hardware, and it's kind of cool when it's all spread out like that, a mosaic like that. Twisted Mopar Garage says he hopes it rains soon. He's got a couple dry spots in the driveway that need water. Well, I don't. Took me all week to do something that should have taken an afternoon. It just kept raining. Wendy English is here. Heavens Mopar Scott is here. Levi is telling us he was in Kansas. World Traveler Levi here. Dr. Go is here. He's been making shorts. Downloaded the app and practicing. Sounds great. It'll be fun. I just use shorts to augment what you do between long form. It's just fun stuff. But I said I would do the short a day with you guys, so I'm doing it. And today's short shows what's left of that wheel bearing I changed. Danny Boyd, who's been doing some body work, says I should change my screen name to Feel Your Work or Danny Canabondo. Okay. Hot Rod Guy Garage is here. Engine Light Garage is here. Just got his most recent short up. Auto Salvage Outlaws here says he's here all week. Blue Grit Garage is here. Functional Histories. Colleen Tebow. Pure Pontiac Garage. Goodness. Jumped a bunch. Unity Motorsports Andy is here. Colleen says, let me know when the Casper-Matic is in and going to Shady Side. Cool. I'm sure we'll be following. Ryan Barsness, Stephen Holtz, Frizzell Racing. He's getting the wagon ready for Power Tour. That sounds exciting. My mom is here. Cope is here. Thank you guys for coming by. RT211 Ross. Fab Race Mod Repeat. The Buick Smith. Heavens Mopars is joining the 30 shorts in 30 days. Yeah, anybody can do it. It's fun. Don's just been lurking. He forgot to make a comment. Well, that's okay. Glad you're here. Junkyard D. Old McDonald is here. 38 POS Racing. Steven, I know you're a busy guy. You've always got a lot going on, but glad you could make it. Well, cool. Glad you all are here. This has just been an interesting week. It's poured rain out of nowhere again and again. So I'm doing the shorts content. The first short I put up, just because we tell people, we want to do this, show how easy it is to do. Right, Big Bad Jones? By the way, when I see Big Bad Jones, I think Finger Tight Jones, as the Bad Tree guys say. And Twisted Mopar is saying 100. I think he doesn't like that I put up what it turns at midnight and it peels off of this, because day 104 is burning, but there are 103 days and 3 hours and 55 minutes left. But anyway, yeah, Big Bad Jones, aka Finger Tight Jones. I like it. Technician Troy's here. Well, cool. So during the Wednesday night Tech Talk Live, I wanted to see how long it would take me to make a short, upload it, come back. I left my seat at 8:56 Eastern time, went out to the garage, one take, shot what was just sitting on the press, came back at 8:59 and 30 seconds, took 3.5 minutes shot the short, came back. By the next day, that short had 2,800 views. It was just about pressing a bearing race. It's funny stuff. But that's the thing. Shorts can capture those things like that you just might not even think are worth making a video about, but they're fun. And Big Bad Jones knows you can schedule them. Yeah. Indeed. I've not scheduled them. I'm doing them, one at a time, releasing them. But I have a couple saved up, other things I've shot. I want to keep it. I hate it when I set a part over there and it slides off. I have a shelf over here that I lean stuff against. You can't see it here. I have my shelf and it's got my orange paper. People like me who would drive a wheel bearing 4 miles after the dust cup comes off. Yeah. No, it wasn't Jethro. He lays right there, but he doesn't like it here. It's too bright for him. But no, I've just been trying to get all the bearing stuff consolidated in one spot. Then I'm going to put all of the other stuff kind of randomly. But so the first day I did the press with the bearing races. The second day I showed that poor spindle on the van. And today I showed what was left of the wheel bearing. And then that's it. So more stuff. I've got some really good stuff coming with tires on the CRV. I think you guys will really enjoy that too. Stephen Oates has did a short on the truck because almost did, and it has over 250,000 views. Yeah, just something he just thought, maybe I will, maybe I won't. That's the kind of stuff that you never know what takes off. Yeah, you never know what's going to be popular. Some of the silliest stuff is, but again, you should just be having fun with it. And shorts are great to supplement in between what you do. There are channels built on shorts that are done deliberately. That's the way they want to do the content. They maximize the content, like they're well produced shorts. They use their time. They get all the info they can in there, and they make really high quality, watchable 1-minute videos. Dudes with Wrenches is probably better at that than anyone. Has a channel it's built on shorts, but what he did is he put the quality. He put really high quality in a 1-minute vertical format. A lot of channels built on shorts are just silly stuff. And there's nothing wrong with that. But to me, I think it's better when that kind of stuff just augments your regular content, unless you want to use that format to its maximum, like Dudes with Wrenches did. KJ Kylie is here. Dust Devil Garage is here. How's it going, guys? All right. So Andy and Colleen are trying to work out going to the races tomorrow. What are you running, Andy? Are you going to Darlington? There's Justin Hill from Idaho. What's happening? So No Name 500 guys doing the shorts. What are you seeing so far? We've only been at this 3 days because we did this Tuesday night. It's Friday night. So we've been at this for 72 hours. And I'm already noticing a lot of movement on subscribers for the ones who are doing it. So what are you seeing? What are you noticing? I did this as just a fun experiment. It looks like it's working really well. Auto Salvage Outlaw says, being up here in the mountains, my phone service doesn't like it. Well, I'm in the mountains and mine doesn't either. But that's the normal for me. All right, taking the wagon to Union for no prep deal. Okay. Engine light garage is pretty good increase in stuff. Yeah, I'm noticing that. I believe you're neck and neck with Riley. Pretty close. Mean Street Mopar's here. Short every day, man. It'll do wonders. Big Bad Jones is doing the same thing. Yeah, the thing with shorts is ideally for me, I don't even think shorts should exist. I think it'd be great if everything was in long form, but it's the way it is now. And this scrolling vertically stuff but it is an interesting way to get more eyes on your content and more people to stumble across your channel and see what you're doing. And for fun things that isn't worth putting out a video for altogether, it makes sense. Mean Street's picked up 7 subs. Yeah, I believe you went from 140 to 147. And this is all just in 3 days. So at 30 days, I have a feeling some of these guys are going to cross the finish line in 30 days. Junkyard D dropped one on Wednesday. He's participating in this even though he has his subscribers. 9,000 views. He says, apparently I don't know how to install a high-performance air cleaner. Oh, yeah, there are people that will argue anything. Shorts is a good place to get that going, I guess. RT211's not in the challenge. He has his subscribers, but he did put up a short 2 days ago, and it's got 11,000 views and 20 subs. See, there you go. I think they're good for augmenting your content, because what gets lost in it when all people do are shorts is it gets lost, who you are, and you're an audience with an attention span. Don't forget, most of our audience is 45 to 65 years old. So there's got to be a balance, because there's guys who just like to do 20-second shorts and 20-minute videos, and that's tough. I like the long format video, but then about a minute per 100 subscribers, so that you have a base that wants to watch it. Then shorts just supplement that. Yeah. Here's Andy, 40,000 subscriber Andy Wood says, I need to do more shorts. I forget about them, really. Exactly. He's proof that you don't have to do shorts to bump sub numbers. But shorts can be good for doing little things here or there. Like one pull on the dyno is a teaser between content or something. Perfect thing for a short. That's I can't think of a better use of a short than doing one dyno pull. Mean Street Mopar's got 175, only 325 to go. Yeah, there you go. But I'm telling you, you can get the next 25 quicker than you got the first 175. Guarantee it. And then RT211's putting a long form out this afternoon. Yeah, cool. I saw the thumbnail for that. It's on your converter. Yes, RT211 has great content. Indeed, he does. Well, Auto Salvage, the thing is I challenge these guys just to do a short every day between, Tuesday night. I said start Wednesday, between then and 4th of July, which would be 30 days, and just see what that does. And it'll do wonders. Blue Grit Garage did a short of a 68 Torino at Autocross. Blue Grit Garage has interesting stuff. Engine Light Garage uploaded a short messing around with his old lady's car, got him 8,000 views. Yeah. Unfinished Project is doing the challenge. Even though he has his subscribers, he's doing it for fun. He's got 13 subscribers in 3 days. So it works. And Hot Rod Guy Garage points out correctly, shorts are a great complimentary promo for your longer videos. Yes, they're great for that. Just a commercial for your content. RT211 does them with GoPro runs. Yeah, there's a lot of good uses for that. A drag strip run, it's great for that because the track has that long perspective. And since you film a short vertically, it works for that. But your eyes are oriented this way and the short is oriented this way. And I've never liked that about them. But when you have a situation where you don't have action going side to side, like an in-car at the track or dyno run, that's a good place for them. I had one today. I took a long form video of my dog barking at these motorcycles. But I tell you, when you go to edit to a short, it cuts all the action out, just squishes it down. That's what kills it for a short for me. So, but that's the way of the world. That's the attention span of most people. Heavens, Mopar says he's 600 watch hours away from being monetized. I never even think about the monetization stuff, but I mean, if that's someone's goal, that's cool. I make a little tiny amount off of YouTube and just roll it into the No Name Nationals. RT211, nothing ruins a drag strip pass. They film it this way and you miss the entire launch. Every time. Every time. And all they had to do was this and you get to see all of it. That to me, shorts are the thing that should never have been invented, but it's what people like. And it just, you lose all of the perspective of the action. But there are situations where they're okay. Like I said, the in-car is always fine because it's narrow in scope. The dyno pulls are okay. There's certain things, but all in all, I very much prefer long-form content. Ron English says, say hello to Jethro for me. And he's rolling around. He's probably taking a nap. He's not in here. The long-form videos, you hope they watch all of it. Yeah. Again, I'm just roughly saying probably about 100 subscribers per minute of video. That's a real rough idea. I mean, there's no science behind that. It just seems like it's about what a person needs. So if people are still trying to find your channel and know who you are, and you have 200 or 300 subscribers, and you make a 20-minute video, the odds of your viewers watching all of that are much lower. And you can edit. In fact, your phone will do that, Blue Grant. Your phone will do that. Jason's Garage is here. Well, Danny boy, shorts are kind of the product of a low attention span society. You think about it, people used to get dressed up and wear suits and top hats and go to the theater and watch a movie and be quiet and follow it. People aren't like that anymore. People aren't like that at all anymore. They have no attention span. They're slobs. They scroll on their phone. That's it. Fab Race Mod repeats as I shot a 7-second short at the track. Took less than 5 minutes, got 10,000 views in 48 hours. Yeah. It took me 3.5 to go make that 32-second short at the press. And that includes walking from this seat out there to shoot it and come back. By the time I got back to my seat, it had uploaded. And that night, it had over 2,000 views. I mean, just showing you it works. Ron English says, Mr. Hayes, goodwill wished upon you. Indirect Connections playing with an axle bearing tonight, so he can leave for Power Tour tomorrow. Yeah. Those can be fun. I think that green bearing for the 8 3/4 was a wonderful invention, by the way. It's on a 7 1/4, yeah. The 7 1/4, it's scaled down. It's got the tiny axle tubes on it and all, but they're good. They're durable. Evans Mopar doesn't want to name people and leave someone out. Yeah, well, I hear that, and that's tough. Like when you got a list of people to thank, that is the worst part. Is thinking, man, I don't want to leave people out. It's just so hard. At least here, I have a list I can read from to greet people when they come into the chat. And Danny Boyd had asked that many people don't like shorts, but they accept them. I heard that YouTube was doing a horizontal format short, which I think would be extremely confusing. But if they did that in lieu of the vertical and replaced it with the other, then that would be great. But I don't think they will. Look how long it took people to get used to filming like this instead of this. And now when people want to do a short, they have to remember to go this way. Now they've got this habit, which is better. Ugh, drives me crazy. Junkyard D's has watched all the new 500 shorts post this work. All were good. Keep it up. It'll pay off. I agree. I'm excited about it. I think it's great. Old McDonald reminds you to put it on live chat. Top chat in YouTube is something that should not exist. They should throw that away and just get rid of it. Top chat gets rid of all these things, just on all these ambiguous whatever. Just put it on live chat to make sure that you get to see all of the chat messages. I recommend that to everybody. YouTube shouldn't even have top chat. Blue Grit Garage says she has a new puppy. Bring her to No Name Nationals so Jethro has someone to play with. Yeah, maybe. Jethro does pretty good with other dogs, does good with little kids and everything, but he's just protective of me. But I'm running around everywhere, so I don't get to hang out much with Jethro at No Name Nationals. Big Man Jones, feel free to make a short when my chair broke live the other night. Yeah, you should do that. That was funny. Levi says, for those who think No Name Nationals is expensive, I just paid $475 to enter one event in Florida. It's got high payouts, but I guarantee we'll have more fun at No Name Nationals for less money. Just want a vacation. I'm here to tell you that, yeah, right. I will never make it about the payouts and the entry fee for the payouts and all that. Fun Safe pays for itself what it needs to do. BCC. Yeah. Email used to be a lot bigger deal before texting came around. Jethro does not like anything on two wheels, by the way. Actually, this was earlier today. See if I can do this. This was waiting on an appointment. Every time. But I'd like to have made a short out of that because it was kind of funny. But again, when time it squishes down, there's no perspective. You couldn't hardly see anything. And that fogginess that you saw when I put the zoom out there was this. So I got this this terrible glass phone. I can even get you to see that thing. See this side better. I got these. Can you see those broken? I got these screen protectors or these lens protectors for the cameras. And the one that's the farthest range, which is the one out there by itself, it broke. So now I got to try to fish that thing off, I guess, with a seal pick and put it on there. And then this is terrible. This is maybe 2 months old at the best. Yeah, he just doesn't like things on two wheels. Now, he won't care. You just can't pay him because he'll be hopping around barking at bikes. Stephen Holtz says, anyone in the I-25 corridor from Colorado Springs to the I-90 corridor between Buffalo, Wyoming, and Spokane Valley, we will be doing a road trip over the dates of the 3rd through the 6th of July. Hit me up. Well, okay. Auto Salvage Outlaw says, I'll be living up north before too long. Well, you'll fit right in, man. Jethro barks at all of those. RT211 says the No Name Nationals entry fee is pretty dang cheap for a 2-day event. It's a 3-day event. You just don't have the track caught on 2 days. Thursday is a day. You should come out for Thursday also. Thursday is a fun day. I don't know. He won't ride with me on the mower, Junkyard D. Well, he would say yes, but I'm very selective. He eats a lot cleaner diet than I do, that's for sure. There's Torque Racing Productions. He says just dropping by to say hi, smack the like button, and back to work. I got a package today from Torque Racing Productions, but I'm going to show that later. So thank you, Roland. I got that a few hours ago, but I'm going to show that later. Evans Mopar says, I swear my dog Rusty gets me more subscribers. Some watch most of the. Oh, yeah, for sure. Ross says he'll be there Thursday. Well, good. Thursday's a blast. And Thursday's free. Thursday's free for anybody. The community. Just come on in. Have fun with us. Hang out. Track just can't be hot Thursday. Fab Race Mod repeats as I prefer long video, but shorts have gotten channel off light support and rolling. Yeah, well, I mean it. Shorts are nitrous. That's what shorts are. They're nitrous. Wendy, Jethro was chasing his tire this afternoon. Having a blast. He chased his tire, took it into the woods, brought a stick out that I didn't know was in there, and drug it into the yard. Thursday is a work day. Wednesday is a long work day. Thursday is a work day and tech day. So there's still stuff to do on Thursday. Ron is correct. We try to have a lot of stuff done by Thursday so that people can get into tech. Tall Garage says shorts are just memes. He is right. That's what they are. They're video memes. Now, I get it, Ken, but some people just they take what could be good and thoughtful content and only get a short of it, and then sometimes people do the other way around. Wednesday is just work, Danny Boyd. That's all it is. Wednesday is a lot of work. Functional Histories dog would do something like that, yeah. Yeah. He is a good time. Chased a deer last night. Levi wants to know, Ken, is that little Ranger ready? Levi, I think the plan is they're going to tow the 50 Coronet with the Ranger. I don't know. Although, if you haven't seen it, Ken does do a video where they put the 46 RE in the 50 Coronet. It was the fastest install I've ever seen. If you want to see that, that's on Ken's channel, Tall Garage. And I think that's the first time I've ever seen a 46 RH or RE put in a 50 Coronet. And they did it in record time. So go over to Tall Garage and check that out if you haven't seen it. It's good stuff. Oh, no, Levi, you're going to miss Thursday? Oh, no. Got class. Is it at night? Come out for night anyway. Windsor? Okay. Dean says JB's 2.8 liter shop has just posted a video. Okay. And the customer had to postpone the side job tonight, so he's home doing chores. Well, thanks for joining us. I think he lives up in Brian Cabral's area. It's not a Cornet, it's a Windsor. Okay, I thought that's a Chrysler product of some kind. Evans Mopar says Brooke can skip a class. And it all depends what the deal is with the class. Sometimes if you work it out way ahead of time, you can do that and it doesn't bother anything, depending on what it is. Yeah, leave around noon, 6 or 7. Yeah, well, that would put you in like during Lambert's. So I remember when I was at Virginia Tech, we had several people in line to ask the professor about getting a special schedule date for their final exam, because when you have 5, 6, 700 people in a class, there's sometimes people need to have a special makeup day to take their final. And I had one for some reason. I think it was a conflict with something else, because I had carrying 21 hours that semester. But the guy in front of me, I'm not really paying attention. I'm just kind of waiting. And he tells the professor, he says, so why do you need to get a reschedule date for your final? He says, well, I'm going to be at a race. And of course, my ears went up right then. And he says, what kind of race? He says, well, we race a Honda. We race the quickest all motor Honda Civic front wheel drive in the country, or something like that. I'm like, wow, that's interesting. I don't remember exactly what it was. Something like that. His name's Mark Bronick, and he used to run that car. He went to Virginia Tech. He was there. I want to say he was maybe a year behind me, something like that. Yep, we'll be glad to see you when you get there, Levi. Do what you need to do. Tall Garage wants to bring his boy if he can. Well, we hope so. We hope that works out. Engine Light Garage, I'll be there Thursday morning, 3.5 hour drive. Well, it is nice to build more time into your schedule. And also, we just worked out this week, we're going to have Tech open earlier on Thursday this year. So Tech will be open earlier than noon on Thursday. Deke is actually coming down the night before. So you guys will have tons of opportunity for Tech if you need to get a cage certed and if we need to do license passes. Okay, we're going to have that available to you this year. RT211 says it's an hour drive for me, so I'll be there early. Going to drive the car to the track and race it, Ross? Auto Salvage Oz wants to know if you'll pass text. Well, okay. No, you don't want you. Don't want to break anything. Come on, live dangerously. Ross, are you going to drive it to Lambert's? You going to drive it the 7 miles down that little road in our cruise to our car show? It's nice 45-mile-an-hour cruise out that little service road all the way to Lambert's. Very nice. Oh, cool. All right. Right on. Dust Devil Brian says we'll be there Wednesday helping with anything. We would greatly appreciate that. So Wednesday is just a big work day. I usually get in Tuesday night. I leave early on Tuesday, and then it's a long drive for me. I get there Tuesday night, and then I'm up early on Wednesday, like 7 a.m. I'm there, and it's a work day. RT211's bringing the street tires. Well, cool. Levi says, I'm probably going to need the license passes, but the cage should be certified by then. Okay, sounds good. Cope says, can definitely use overdrive on the way to Lambert. Yes, you can. You can lock up the converter if you want. It's a nice level cruise. You can just cruise just above idle with your overdrive and lockup converter. And if you need an overdrive and lockup converter, I'll be excited for doing that in the van because that'll let me put a lot more rear gear in it. I'm going to go from a 294 to a 391 in the back. That'll be a big change for the van. Dean says, don't you need to apply for an act of Congress to operate an overdrive, John Cope? Well, you do need to be able to push a button, and I think there are some people in Congress who can't do that. Unity Motorsports Garage says, lock up for the win. Andy, give us an update on how the Casper-Matic is doing. Do you have the converter yet, or where are you in that process now that you've got it in your hands? Blue Grit says, this year I will slap the car together fairly stock to get it running, performance improvement for 2025. Right on. That's a winning strategy. It's a good strategy. You think about it, we have subsequent years to get faster and all that stuff, but do something, enjoy the journey, and just get there. We have, hopefully we just keep working toward it and have subsequent years to get faster, but enjoy it. Aunt D said, I dropped the ball yesterday, but I actually uploaded two shorts tonight. Well, Aunt D, if you're participating along with us, that's pretty cool. Andy says, Cope ordered the converter this week. It's all been making Casper look better this week. Oh, okay. 113 Cycles asks, can I ride my mini bike to Lambert's? It's interesting you mention that. I will get back to you on that. I'm not saying no. Yeah, I think he's clear coating Casper. Preserving the remaining rust. I mean patina. I do think that's slightly different. I mean, when I think patina, I'm thinking like surface rust and fading, and stuff like that. It's just a general degrading of the surface quality. I'm not thinking like structural rust and rotten stuff falling out of it, though. That's not the same thing. RT211. I don't even want to hear the word converter anymore. He's trying to get his converter scienced out. Turbo Tom correctly mentions it's dark on the way back to the track. Yes. Because that time of year, you're off of your peak daylight and you're in the central time zone. Well, not just the central, but you're closer to the eastern end of the central time zone than like I am here on the western part of the eastern time zone. So it does get dark before we get back from Lambert's. Although, that said, now that tech opens a little sooner, we might be able to move, Lambert's up an hour or so, something like that. We don't want to get too crazy with when we do it. We did last year for the movie, but 113 says, I'm not going to be geared for that. Probably a top speed of 330. Yep, there you go. Blue Grit Garage says, don't tell Anna, but I will keep it slower and fairly foolproof so she can drive it and not scare herself to get her interested in drag racing. Well, It's an interesting way to go about it. You know, there's a lot of people that like the strategy of something that's really slow and then progressively, have more power and whatnot. At Frank Hawley's school, what they do is they give you full power to start with, but on really short runs, too short to get yourself in trouble. So, you know, then you just make longer runs, but you make them under full power. Tall Garages is Lambert's all you can eat. Is that the gimmick along with thrown food? They do bring like all you can eat sides, like all different stuff that come to your table. And, you know, you can go to their websites. I think it's throwedrolls.com, throwed with a D. Aunt D says, no chance of getting there this year, but often need a challenge to get in gear and set up for. Well, I mean, you might not bring a car and participate, but you can still come spectate and have a great time. Why don't you catch a flight into St. Louis and come join us? I can confirm Ken and Kyle were there in 2022. Yes, they only throw the rolls. Blue Grit Garage says, that's a thought. Thanks, but will she listen? Unfortunately, she might not listen to you for the simple thought is if because you're her dad. So I find this with firearm instruction all the time. There's a lot of guys who want to teach their wives and daughters to shoot, and it never works. Not because, he doesn't know what he's doing, but because they don't think of him as an instructor. They think of him as husband or dad. So those guys will send their wives and daughters to my school, and it's fine because they think of me as a firearms instructor. Does everyone tend to go to Lambert's every night? No. I mean, they always get business every night from us, but Thursday is the night we go there for the cruise. There are people who go back, but, Friday night we got the burnout competition, and then they're closed by the time that's over. So not generally Friday. There are some people usually will go back on Saturday, or we cook out or whatever. It's a blast. Dust Devil Garage has all you can eat fried okra. Yes. I know that Jason, indirect connection Jason, loves his fried okra. Dust Devil's making him hungry. Yeah. Levi, of course, has to do something completely different, and they found a red lobster somewhere in 2023. This red lobster's okay, although I don't eat lobsters themselves. My favorite fish is flounder. And those weird Cheddar Bay biscuits or whatever, they're okay, I guess. Engine Light Garage says last year Southern Juju got smacked in the chest with a roll. Yeah. Oh, yeah. People get drilled pretty good. One Eyed Cat says we cooked a venison roast on Saturday, bringing 2 roasts this year. Yep, that'll be cool. I tried that, and it was delicious. Colleen Tebow likes crabs. Okay. You heard it here first. Levi's likes to mix it up. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Did a lot more cooking out the first year. Oh, goodness. Levi says, those year we will be camping, so we'll cook at the track. Yeah, camping's where it's at there. Camping's a lot of fun. The first year I stayed off site. The second year I crashed at the track. I got to say I like that better, but don't know if I can work that out this year or not. Heavens, Bopars, caught a roll in my mouth. Those things are hot. Burnt my lip. Andy's got to roll out. No pun intended. Got to run catch y'all later. Well, thanks for swinging by, Andy. We appreciate you. Thanks for giving us an update on the Casper-Matic. Auto Salvage Outlaw says, who's bringing the crawfish? It's a little late in the season for those things, but if we had the No Name Nationals in, say, April or like the 1st of May or something, yeah, buddy, I'd be getting somebody to bring crawfish up for a crawfish boil. That'd be some good stuff. I just read it, Levi. Well, Stephen Holtz had his crawfish this evening. Yeah, done right. They're good. Wendy likes the fried okra. I mean, it's okay. It's just not my jam, but it's okay. Levi's saying steak and potatoes one night and hot dogs and burgers ought to be interesting. Yeah, nothing wrong with any of that. Sounds good to me. People are trying to make me hungry. That's good stuff. It was a beautiful day today. And I went by Five Guys. We went over to Five Guys for lunch. Sitting there in the sun. Got my space right there and tethered him on the table. Outdoor seating is nice there. Tall Garages, he'll pitch in 200 for a crawfish bowl. Yeah, I don't know. Well, it might happen one year. We'll see. Someone needs to bring a smoker. I'm sure that could happen. In fact, I think it has every year. Levi says, it's okay. I'm just a dumb hillbilly from Indiana. Or as Cope would call you, a hilljack. Never heard that one before. Wendy wants to do homemade macaroni and cheese. Yeah. Cement Surfer says, hello, been a minute or two. Well, glad to see you here. Coming to No Name Nationals this year, sir? John asking, what did I miss? You missed everything. Yeah, I know. How about Cement Surfer? Good dude. Glad he showed up. Always good to see Russell in the house. Oh, it be like that? I guess. Busted Radio Garage, as he'll match that. Well, people come from everywhere, so we'll see what happens. Cement Surfer says probably not going to be there. Well, hey, if that changes, you know you're welcome. We'd love to see you there, so let us know. How's that lay body doing that you got running on site there? That was fun. They had a great pit thrash going at the inaugural No Name Nationals. Auto Salad Jaw's headed way up north. Where is way up north? To me, Don lives way up north. He's in Pennsylvania. See? What'd I tell you? That's a stand-up thing for you, Seaman Surfer. I appreciate that, but we'd love to see you there. So if it works out for you to be there, love to see you there again. Well, old McDonald, it's all too far north for me. I'm already as far north as I would ever want to be. I kind of liked the part of North Georgia that my aunt was in, but it was just getting rougher and rougher and rougher, and I'm glad she got out of there. Buick Smith says I'll be getting my taxes back next week. Register after I get back from the Black Powder Rendezvous. Cool, man. Looking forward to it. It's exciting. Cement Surfer said, I watched your challenge Tuesday. Loaded 2 shorts and got 17 subs on one and 7 on the other. Made my 500 on shorts, Thanks to Unfinished Project poking me daily. Unfinished Project is good for that. He's good for that. He likes to encourage. He follows along the No Name 500. I don't think you will see a better supporter of the No Name Nationals than Unfinished Project. Not tracking you there, Dean, but okay. Steven says, I still love the visual of the fireball coming out of the carb. That's always a good visual unless you're looking down in the top of the Venturis. Levi says Cope could be considered a Yankee if he was in Chicago, but because he's a Hoosier, he's one of us middle country folk. Cope is from Chicago. And you're from like Kentucky, Indiana. Blue Grid says I was the one with the squirt bottle feeding the Cement Surfer Scooter with fuel at the first No Name Nationals. Fun times. Yeah, cool. I didn't put that together, but that's interesting. Unfinished Project is here feeding a baby goat at the moment. Oh, that sounds like fun. You should make a short of that. Levi says he's going to hate me for saying that. Nah, if he was going to hate you, he'd hated you already. Twisted Mopar says, I want to see the knuckle duster run down the track. Me too. Brian, if you're in here, tell us how that's going. You've got 103 days and 3 hours and 6 minutes. But I think it's going to happen. Brian's been steadily working on that car. Levi says he's converted. He's been in Indiana long enough. I don't know what your rules are here, but let me tell you, if somebody moves here from way up north, they are not converted ever. I know a lawyer one time, and he and I were in that Epics documentary Under the Gun, and his name's Dan Halls. And one of the things that hit the cutting room floor, they only used 4 minutes of this 2-hour interview, but it was fantastic. And he did this whole thing. He says, I could move to Japan, I could dress Japanese, I can eat Japanese food and all these things, but I will never be Japanese. I thought, well, that's interesting. It's like you can't become a Southerner. Big Bad Jones says, I'm in Texas. Everyone north of the Red River is a Yankee. Okay. Well, 3/4 of the war between the states was fought right here, and they all wore gray uniforms. So, Dust Devil is working on it. Was sick as a dog last weekend. Ooh, get well, man. Levi says the only ones we have a hard time converting are the Buckeyes. Well, that again, Ohio is a state that's very different from north to south and everything, like Virginia is. Virginia is extremely different from one end to the other. The part that borders DC is nothing like the part I live in. Yeah, auto salvage is a strange one for that, Dean. Big Bad Jones, when are you going to register for the No Name Nationals? You were at 358 subs a couple days ago. Want to come out and join us? You're not that far away. Do we need to get somebody coming from Canada to go down and pick you up on the way in? Yes, Danny Boyd. We know that and we hate it. It's about 5 counties that run everything that border DC. Auto Salvage Outlaws started playing both sides of the fence, which, speaking of that, perfect segue for this. And I saw Wendy in the live chat for it. I don't know if any of you have seen this. Have you ever seen the Red Zot channel? Any of you guys? This guy made a YouTube channel to chronicle this eternal peeing contest over a fence and boundary line dispute with his next door neighbor. The guy's in, I don't know, I think he's in the Franklin, Tennessee area, south of Nashville, somewhere in Davidson County. And his neighbor is absolutely wrong. She put the fence in the wrong place, period. It's just, the evidence is overwhelming. The subdivision plat map, 3 surveyors. She's just wrong. She just doesn't know where her property line is. And she had a fence built on the wrong property line. She had it built in an easement and just put it in the wrong place. And for 2 years, this YouTube channel has gone on his battle with the neighbors. And so I have a link down below because today he live streamed the neighbor building a new fence on the correct property line. The thing is really tall. It's like a wall on a southern border fence. And she had the old fence taken down. And they live streamed that today. And I saw Wendy in there. But the link for that's below this video if you want to check out his channel. So I thought that was an interesting one. Levi wants to know if you can call Dust Devil's car the clock car. Well, he's got the first clock. Seaman Surfer says, who has the list of no-name 500 channels? I want to look at it. Well, Seaman Surfer, if you go to my channel, you can, just go to my channel. And the list of the guys still running it are right there. There's 8 of them still in it. And there are 4 who have made it this year so far. And 8 still running. But that's where the list is. Yeah, One-Eyed Cat was watching that channel today. Yeah, Wendy was in there. Yeah, they took the black metal fence down. It's been going on for a couple of years now. Dust Devil said, I think it would be easy to film 7 shorts and a long-form video over a weekend and have it all drop. Have all the shorts drop one a day. I agree. But I wanted to make it as simple as possible. And then if they do it, make that habit and see that it's easy, then they'll keep going and they can get as sophisticated as they want to. Bigfoots and Mopars. What's going on, Bigfoot Mark? Hollering at us from work. Bigfoot Mark, how's that project coming? It's hard to even say. You sold the Jack Pine Savage. By the way, do you still have that one Jack Pine Savage shirt that was floating around your seat that needed washing or something? RT211 says I use my factory radiator cap, 13 or 14 pounds. Slant Daily Garage. What's going on, Professor P? Ron English says it's not a clock car, maybe a Glock car. I don't know. I don't know what Dust Devil Brian's firearm of choice is. Mine is Glock. Tall Garage says, I found a tool that takes long form videos and makes short. It's called an app on the iPhone. Your YouTube app on the iPhone will do it for you. Problem is you lose perspective when you do it, no matter what. Yes, unfinished project. I'm not kidding you. That was not an April 1st video. Go back and see it. That happened. Hey, Levi, what are you carrying right this minute as you type that? Slant Daily's trying to figure out what track to go to this weekend. Well, that sounds like a good problem to have. The Thunder Valley Nationals NHRA's event at Bristol is this weekend. And I went every year for 20 years. And I have not been the last couple. I noticed that Bristol has built this little cover by the press box they pull under. They've added on to that. Unfinished project. Put up the link for Max Wedge Dick Dastardly. That's cool. Ken says 45 High Point because I'm cheap. But are you carrying it right now? I'm not talking what you own. I'm talking what you're carrying on your person right now. Old McDonald, Glock 19. Excellent choice of pistol. Excellent choice of pistol. But are you carrying it right now, or is it a box in your closet or somewhere? Stuff with Cletus. Speaking of somebody who does shorts well, Stuff with Cletus. If you want a good example of how to make shorts that do well, go over there and check out his channel. Cletus did a channel, I think it was 50 shorts in 50 days, had great results with that. So Cletus, I've challenged the No Name 500 guys to do a short every day from 2 days ago through the 4th of July. That's 30 shorts in 30 days. And the ones who are doing it, their channels are really taking off. So if you want to share your experiences doing the shorts in here, you're welcome to. Ron English wants to know what's up with Don's aluminum 225 slant 6 block. Indirect connection still listening. I might have the one to. Yeah, exactly, Bigfoots and Mopars. That shirt I asked about 2 years ago. If you still have that shirt, I'm all about it. Let me know. I'll pay you for it, cover shipping. Just I can send you a label. Those shirts are so freaking cool. Yeah, Dean's got to do the boating accent stuff because he doesn't live in a free country, unfortunately. Buick Smith, spend time with the kids. Well, right on, man. Family first. Sounds great. Buffdale Capo's at 422 subs. Looks like those shorts Buff is doing are really paying off. Functional History says Colt 1911. But are you carrying it? That's the question. Lots of guys own guns and have them in closets and such, or they have them and take them to the range in a box. But do you actually, like when you went about and out and about today in society, ran your errands, did your stuff, were you carrying that on your person? Levi said, I also have never purchased a firearm and spent all my money on cars, saving for a garage and a house. So it'll be a long time before we get to buy a firearm of my choice. Well, the way I look at it, a firearm is important, and training for it is a fire extinguisher. So to me, just take about $450, buy a Glock 19, get a good competent training course, and just do that. And instead of getting 100 guns and no training, get one pistol, learn how to use it right, get a Glock 19, save yourself that headache, and there you go. I mean, I give you a long answer, but that's the right answer. Stuff with Cletus is great challenge. The shorts took me 2,000 subs, and then later a couple took off, and now I have 35,000 subs. Not all from shorts, but a lot of them. So Stuff with Cletus has 35,000 subs, and it was right after his shorts deal that he did. But there we go. Big Bad Jones just registered. We'll see if I show up. like the honesty, man. You will. I predict you will. Dean Stevens said, we can hire a rubber Zodiac and take the weapons to the water, though. The limpet mine is still a firearm. I think in New Zealand, don't you have this weird thing like where your firearms have to stay at the range or something, or some bizarre thing like that? Functional histories. I don't have the CC license, no, I'm afraid. I wasn't asking if you had that. I'm not asking if you've bought a permit from a government for a right you were born with. That has nothing to do with it. I'm asking if how many of you actually carry your gun on your person, what you did today. Mongrel's Garage says, we are not allowed to carry firearms. Right. We weren't either until 1776. There's a difference between able and allowed. No license needed. Yeah, most states, you don't have to have a license anymore, fortunately. Stuff with Cletus says, No Name Nationals is a great time. Everyone should come, even if they don't hit 500. Totally agree. Thank you, Cletus. And Cletus has his camp over there. I don't know what area you're going to do your camp in again this year, Cletus, but they were down on the from the gate on the far side of the 660 saloon over there. But there's not a bad spot there. There's lots of, just come in, stake you out a spot, and have a great time. Twisted Mopar says, I carry everywhere most times. Good. But I bet you don't carry on your person. You carry in a truck or something, don't you? Wendy's in the process of carrying. Yes, Wendy told me a hilarious story about her first training class. It was quite enjoyable. No, functional history doesn't need that. Maybe a Glock 17 for Victor. We have something even better than the Second Amendment, Twisted Mopar. We have a natural right. Yeah, shall not be infringed, but I mean, the Second Amendment just was commemorating a right we were born with. It didn't give us anything. The Second Amendment was given to us by the government. They could take that away. It doesn't change my right at all. I'm talking about a birthright. Yeah, it's cool. It's interesting. It's 27 wonderful words, but it's not anything that didn't give us anything. Unfinished project is exactly right. Everyone wants to be an outlaw until it's time to do outlaw stuff. That is correct. Well, South Carolina is a weird southern state. They're adverse to open carry, which that's a whole other topic. But I normally have it on me. That's interesting. That's good. RT211 races, there's a few bad spots, 58 to 62 if you go after the rain. Yeah, but I mean, by and large, it's a good spot. It's all a good place in the pits. Twisted Mopar Garage, firm believer in open carry. I don't want open carry to become outlawed or the government to decide we can't have it anymore. It's not my preference, but I certainly want the right to be preserved. So I have no problem with that, of course. My Glock 19's had a lot. You don't carry that, do you? Magna ported trigger work, yeah. My Glock 17's had the best trigger job it can have, about 30,000 rounds put through it. Blue Grid has an interesting video blowing up my Taurus with tannerite. Okay. You blew up a Taurus with tannerite, or did you blow up tannerite with a Taurus? It's interesting. Yeah, Tall Garage is correct. If your rights come from the state, it isn't a right. Right, that's right. My right didn't come from there. The Second Amendment commemorates something we were born with. Stuff with Cletus. Ever see a fat guy on a mini bike? You will know they bashed those when I'm riding around. Cletus, tell me you're going to have the grill. Do you have the same grill or have you made improvements? I got a picture when it in my Sykeston photo album. I was just like, got Cletus had the grill going on. It was wild. Evans Mopar Scott says, I had to figure out the rules about carrying a school since I'm a custodian. Is it don't ask, don't tell? Scott, that's a whole other topic. Let's talk about that one offline. And federal and state are very different, by the way. Yeah, and don't even go there. I knew it. Cletus gonna have a new grill. It'll be great on the mini bike and no shirt. Oh my gosh. I do not know if Tony's Hot Rod Garage is going live tonight or not. I haven't heard from him. I don't know. He's been very busy. Although I did talk to Tony a couple days ago. Had some questions on him, what his thoughts were on this wheel bearing and spindle situation, since it is unusual. For those who haven't seen it, I've done a couple of shorts with the van. The spindle on the van, somebody really smashed on that spindle with it. Looks like a matic or something. The strike on it, I think, trying to do ball joints on it. Yeah, don't listen. So Scott, don't read a bunch of this kind of stuff. That just don't know, not necessarily. Danny boy, don't tell him you're not right. Like in Utah, that's completely false. So don't tell him stuff you don't know. I do know. I teach this stuff. And the ATF doesn't have that authority. Again, that's a whole, the ATF shouldn't exist. We didn't have it before 72, and we don't need it now. YouTube doesn't like guns. They have a policy that technically you can, but they give you a hard time about it. I know a guy that lost a 340,000 subscriber channel because his training school let a group of Girl Scouts earn a merit badge in rifle work. And they demonetized him over that. Tall Garage says, like my right to not have to ID to the cops for not breaking the law. That is correct. As King can tell you, the internet is a fountain of free misinformation. Stuff with Cletus says, I Spider Garage is doing a live in an hour. Okay, cool. Slantfish Garage saying hi from Slantfish Garage in beautiful Knoxville, Tennessee. Well, that's cool. That's cool. That's pretty country. I always like cruising through there, going through Tennessee. Nah, but YouTube is weird about it. They're strange. Like, for instance, the same guy who lost his channel, he once had a live stream got cut right in the middle because he was covering he has an instructor development class, and they were using these red and black Glock prop guns in the instructor development class, and just cut his live stream. Tall Garage says the ATF's unconstitutional. Old man agrees. There's all kinds of stuff's unconstitutional. It's like our Bill of Rights is just completely disregarded these days. It's embarrassing. Yeah, I agree. I think it's interesting that the same ATF that Texas Roadhouse has to get a stamp from to serve liquor is the same ATF that goes in and audits these gun stores and such. And it just What in the world do alcohol, tobacco, and firearms? Why would that be one department? That makes no sense. Yes, YouTube does not allow you to have a differing opinion. You need to have the leftmost opinion possible to please the YouTube overlords. That's why I think that for some of us folks, it's just YouTube is hard. So Captain Do is here. Evening, Captain, my name, and how is all y'all Moparians and car folks doing? That. Dean says yada 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 cubed. Okay. So Dean's got 16 banned sayings. I like these. I'm just letting them get them all up here. So Dean has his list of banned sayings. Paying the stupid tax. Well, I won't ban that one. Some interesting ones here. I could ban some of these though. I could ban all that. Could definitely ban that. Yep, I'm with you on most of these. RT211 says, and Dean's all-time favorite, better to ask for forgiveness than permission. I don't care about the saying, but there is some truth to it. RT211 says, what time are they going to have the gates open to track that Thursday morning? I should have the gates open at 7 a.m. on Thursday morning. That is a day to come in and get teched. Come in, get tech. I don't know what time Deke will be there, but he should be there fairly early on Thursday. And that's, make sure everything is set up and running so that we can all just cruise over to Lambert's and show and have a good time. And by the way, while I'm on that, so I was talking to Possum, who runs the track there, and he said that they have a track whisperer guy. I can't think of it. Track Mass, I think is the name of it. And he goes around all over the country prepping tracks for events. And he comes in and does prep for these guys. And he sells his own glue, which Possum says is even better than PJ1. He said he never thought he'd say that. But they are really getting the track sorted out there. It's worlds better than it was at the second annual No Name Nationals. So they really have a handle on things. I think you guys are going to be really pleased with the track. And I've had several reports from several people I know and trust that says the track is so much better. Tall Garage, I think that's one of the worst ever. All my guns are lost, but that's one of the worst ever. If you think it's time to bury your guns, it's time to dig them up. Well, okay, what are we doing? Let's see here. Slant Daily Garage. First time for me seeing another slant type name for a channel. Yeah, that's the first thing I thought of, Shane. Well, Functional Histories wants to leave late on Wednesday night. Okay. Sounds like a plan. Levi says, if anyone needs an SA 2020 helmet size large to Simpson, I have one for sale right now. It's listed for $300 on Facebook. If any No Name Nationals participants want it, I'll do $250. And they have the 330 fixed. Yes. So Possum gave me the rundown on it. And they're making it just much better. Possum has he has helped with the first two No Name Nationals. He's been there. It's just now he's the track operator. And so far, so good. Of course, I expected everything will be smooth working with him. And in fairness, everything was great working with Lynn. I mean, I never had any problem with Lynn. Everything was great. But Possum is great. He's in charge there. And I see nothing but good coming from this. So everything is good. Everything's great. I told Possum when I talked to him, we have 100 and however many days it was when I talked to him, and everybody's excited. And I think it would have been 107 on the paper when we had that conversation, because I said tonight we're doing the challenge for the No Name 500. So it would have been Tuesday I talked with him. Big Bad Jones says, I've never been down a racetrack before. Well, we can fix that. You're what, 142 subs and showing up away. Make it happen, man. Cletus says, make sure and hit the thumbs up. Appreciate that. Functional Histories wants to remind you he has an absolutely massive head. Well, you can actually run a DOT helmet, Functional Histories. I can't imagine, with any stretch of the imagination that you're going to run a 764 quicker in that car. So you should be fine. 38 wants to do tutorials on how to drive a 3 on the tree, a bolt action car. One-Eyed Cat said he'd never been down the track either till the No Name Nationals last year, made 10 passes. So there you go. Don is a great example of just making stuff happen, because he does. A little at a time and makes it happen. Dakota's offering you $2.50. And Cletus $2.51. Oh, brutal, guys, brutal. What kind of auction you people having here? Look at this. This isn't eBay. Will mini bikes run through tech separately? They're going to be teched. Oh, yeah. The mini bikes will be teched. Turbo Tom says, I drove Wednesday night last year. Won't do that again. Too tired all day. Well, Turbo Tom, how in the world did you physically do the drive after No Name Nationals last year? I don't know how you survived that. To me, that was just wild. But yeah, that's rough on you. I mean, if you can do it and give yourself more time to rest, you might like it. I have to do that. I just can't. I can't burn the candle at both ends like I used to. 38 POS Racing says No Name Nationals in 2023 was the only time my car had been to a track. Drove a 59 Chevrolet down from Nebraska, raced it, drove it home, and delivered a 46 RE Chrysler transmission out of the trunk too. And a hitch and power steering pump. I bought a lot of parts off of Racer A. That was fun. Dakota said being down a drag strip is a real cool experience. I'm hoping Dakota will come back this year, but he's waffling on us. Dakota, you can get in a convoy coming over from where you live, even if Hunter can't make it. We'd love to have you back. So Captain Do says, I really like sentences to start with that. Captain Do says, I got an adapter order so I can finally use the oxy-acetylene welding torch. I also finally got an 8-track tape mailing to me soon. 8-track tapes are not easy to get. Question. Man, I don't know what any of that means, but it's interesting. Cletus wants to know if he runs his mini bike through tech in a bright yellow thong. Think they'll push me through faster? Actually, I think if you're in a bright yellow thong, nobody's going to want to push you. I mean, if their hands slip, there's not enough bleach or bear trap in this world to fix that, right? Has someone made a video on passing tech? Yes, lots of them. Lots of them. And Big Bad Jones, I did a live stream with Deke Denny, our tech inspector, earlier this year, a few weeks back. Go look for it. We tell you what you need to know to pass tech. And, just if you have any question where your car fits in the ET brakes for tech, just ask us. If you go to nonamenationals.com, the latest AHRA rulebook is linked right there. But just feel free to ask. It's not too bad. For what I saw just in your thumbnail, I didn't click through. It looks like your car's it's not a race car. You haven't been down a track or anything. So you're probably just going to have to pass basic tech, which means you're going to have to make sure to have a battery hold down, a proper bolted battery hold down. You will have to have a coolant overflow bottle. You can make one up if your car didn't come with one. There are just some basic tech. You'll have to have your factory seat belts. Levi's saying, please no. Yes, I agree. It is a family-friendly event, though, so in all seriousness, none of that stuff. 113 Cycle says, can I get in line for tech on Thursday with the monkey bike? Yes, absolutely. Everybody who can possibly tech on Thursday, please do. Now, Deke will be there. You can tech on Friday. You can. But Thursday is definitely the best day to tech. It's a 9-hour drive from me. Right on. It's a 9-hour drive from me. Just coming from a different direction. I'm coming from the east. You're coming from the south. 2X Jeff's here. What's going on, Jeff? Dakota, you got to go. I have to time you out. For those of you who haven't been following, check out Jeff's Jumpin' Jack Flash Dragster. That's a wild one. He is making that build happen. I mean, from almost completely from scratch. The only thing these guys have recycled are the bends on the main hoops in the cage, and that's it. They built this dragster from scratch other than that. And One-Eyed Cat's already calling you out, Dakota. You gonna lose a call out for that Valiant? Dakota, it's an all-day drive for a bunch of us. Do it. It's part of the fun. Unfinished Project says, I have a bunch of 8-tracks for sale. My email is on my About page. Well, there you go, Captain Do. Old McDonald has some Super Tramp Breakfast in America on 8-track. There you go. Colleen. So, yeah, Colleen will be passing you on the way in. .38 says, I'm planning on being in Sikeston before Vic plans on leaving Dayton. Yeah. Well, I have to get there crazy early. I can't really convoy with anybody. I usually leave here about 6 o'clock in the morning on Tuesday and get there, in the evening. Not crazy late, but late. It's dark when I get there. And then 7 a.m. Wednesday morning, make sure everything is good. And get some intel, if there's anything that needs attention before that. And One-Eyed Cat's going to be trying to run a second 4-barrel. Yep. Well, Dawn, try to do it sooner than later because you're going to have to do some tuning. Captain Deuce says, I never used an 8-track before, but my parents had them, like 3 dozen 8-tracks on country music and mellow rock music. Stopped using the 8-track since 1997, and the last 8 tracks we had was in 2001. Okay. Finger tight Jones. I love it. Don't forget to double check all your nuts and bolts before going down the track. Yes. That made my evening right there. And in all seriousness, yes, because let me show you something. This was mildly unnerving, and I sent this to Deke. If I can find it. This factory wheel, factory studs, replacement aftermarket lug nuts for the van. And you see how all of those are started? So that thing was dead square. I wasn't torquing it down or anything. And that Dorman lug nut just snapped. And I wasn't even torquing it with a torque wrench, just spinning it down. You can see there are 3 threads in the hex portion of that lug nut. 3. That's what's in there. Because you can't really tell until you break one apart. But once you break one apart, you can see There's all kinds of threads down in there, but that's not where they break. They break right there where the hex meets that shank. And there are 3 threads above that. And the factory wheel, these are factory wheels, factory studs. You only got a couple threads above it. So there's really nothing holding. To me, that's unnerving. Now, they've been on this van for 40 years, but I'm going to upgrade it because there's just nothing in there. They could have put those threads all the way up, could have put the studs all the way up. That's the solution I'm going to have. So going forward with this van, I'm going to put some longer studs in. This stud plus 5/8 of an inch is perfect. That's maximum. That's all you can have. This exact stud. I've got one out. Piece of paper on. I got this very stud for that reason. I'm going to get these made in 5/8 of an inch longer so I can run capped lug nuts but have all the engagement. And then I'm going to try to get a better quality lug nut than that cheap Dorman lug. T's Good Time Garage says 22-ish for me. Looking forward to making the journey again. Right on, man. We look forward to having you again. Great having you in Sykeston. That bracket is going to be exciting this year. T is defending. We'll see what happens. It's 11 or 12 for Old McDonald. It takes me 12. It's a 9-hour drive, but I stop plenty of times. I've stopped to see family along the way and stuff like that, but I usually do it in about 12, but it's 9 hours of actual driving. 38 called out Thumper to be the first one to Sykeston. Had to wait till Saturday to collect on my Lambert trolls. Well, right on. Hope Thumper makes it out early this year. We want to see him again. Evans Mopar says, Dakota, do what Steven did and swap out your gears when you get there to make the trip. You can do that. You can totally do that. You can do that. You can do that. But in this day and time, the overdrive is a great way to go. Stuff with Cletus. I have some used grill, and I guess a used yellow thong for sale will help with that. Oh, gosh. Dakota says it's a rough ride in that car at 3,500 RPM the whole way, and everything is old, worn out. I think the tires are the only new things. Dakota, I drive an 85 Dodge every day. Cry me a river. You know, this crowd right here probably drives the oldest cars of like any stream ever. You can do it. You did it before. What you really need, Dakota, though, what you really need is an overdrive for that thing. And that would just change it all. And the technology with overdrive is really coming around, especially like a 4L80. I'm telling you. I heard that from Blake at Bad Tree Productions and J-Bo. Finger Tight Jones. Thought that was hilarious. And you know something else, too, Dakota? You know what you could do is you could just put an 8 3/4 in that car. Just do it. There was a guy that lived over here a few miles this way who had a Vega with an 8 3/4, so he could do that. You could do that. Put an 8 3/4 in that car. There's no reason you can't. It would handle anything you would throw at it. You could change your gears in 45 minutes. Just do it. Put an 8 3/4 in it. Just get it with whatever highway gears you find. And if you do that and bring it in the car, I've got a 456 chunk sure grip you can borrow and stick right in there. Or a 488 with a spool. I've got a 513. I've got a 557. You tell me what you want to turn it, and I'll bring the chunk. Oh, my goodness. We're still talking about 8 tracks. And Dr. Goes says he has his dad's quadraphonic 8-track stereo. This is interesting. Colleen says, Dakota, we will come to you. I'll drive your TA, and you can drive the bus. Lug nuts are made of Chinesium. Yes, I was really disappointed looking at that because there's only 3 threads in that hex portion. And that's right where they break, is right below that. So that's it. And then the studs don't even come up that high. So that is sketchy. And those are factory wheels, factory studs. They've been on there 40 years. But I think for my peace of mind, I'm going to, like I said, I've already taken one out and measured it. This plus 5/8 is perfect. Dakota says, not excuses. Most of you are driving 5-year-old trucks with air conditioning, fancy things. Not me, Dakota. Not me. My daily is 40 years old, man. I have lived the old car life my whole life. Yeah, I'm not into fancy things. I have no interest in ever buying another vehicle for the rest of my life that the year begins with a 2. Big Bad Jones. Usually around 4 o'clock is approximate. There's a buffer in there because if we were to have rain or something and things have to get pushed back for eliminations, we would need Saturday evening. We haven't had to do that yet, but usually around 4 o'clock is about after we have finals in 28, 10, 5 and Monkey Bike, and we have awards. And then right after awards, we break. And then the folks who need to get on the road, get on the road. Folks who are staying there, we usually get dinner together. We're probably going to have people playing music on the stage on Saturday nights. So Saturday night's a great time. You're welcome to hang around. You can camp and head back Sunday morning. And that's actually probably what most people do. But awards are usually right before dinner on Saturday, if there's no rain or anything. Tuck Collins bus is a 92. Levi brought his 1990 Chevrolet the first year. Unfinished Projects Daily is a 84 Dodge W350. Dakota, I'm totally for real. Get you an 8 3/4 from, a pickup truck, a C body, whatever, because those are cheap, right? An A body would be real expensive. But if you get one of those, that car of yours is wide enough that you'll have the track. You're going to have to do brackets anyway, right? If you want to do axles and run your Chevy pattern wheels and all of that, and just want to bite the bullet on axles, get the ends, narrow it, make it whatever width you want, put your brackets on, be a wonderful solution. Ken likes an 8.8. You could, but we're talking about having that dropout center section. You know what, too, Dakota? I don't know that I've ever seen anybody put an 8 3/4 Mopar in that Pontiac like that. That would make a great video, great content. And if you need parts and stuff, I'm totally willing to help you. Colleen says Damien may be driving the Dart, 1 trailer, 2 cars. Okay. Colleen says she'll be driving Half Pint or trailer the Dart. Okay. Exciting stuff. What about the bus? Is the bus coming? Turbo Tom says, I'll drive whatever the dealership gives me to drive. Cool. Yeah, love it. Captain Do, how many subs you have? Are you gonna participate? Mean Street Mopar said my daily is my newest vehicle and is 25 years old. Let me tell you, I was watching a video. It was a news story where the average age of a car in America is at an all-time high because we had this rampant inflation that we wanted a few years ago and we got it. Now the cost of cars is just completely out of sight, and people are driving cars, older cars than ever, like 13 years average, which to me is just unreal. People are not buying new cars anymore. And they deserve it. They're charging a fortune for stuff that costs a fortune to maintain and everything. And I've opted completely out of that. Can't get it. Thursday, let's see. Blue Grit says, how long is test and tune? I assume only Friday. No, we open the track on Friday morning and Saturday morning for test and tune. Both days begin with that because people want to be able to, get stuff in order, especially people that were in the burnout competition. They try to get their cars in order. And we have people changing over from bracket to heads up. Both days begin with test and tune. We have a little bit in the morning. We run call outs in between at like a couple hours in the morning on both Friday and Saturday. And you can get out and test and tune whenever you want. It's as long as it's between rounds of brackets and call outs. I mean, you're going to get to make a lot of passes if you want to. Stuff with Cletus says, I don't have car. I'm a bum. What about the Volvo? What about the LSV? What Ford body size 9-inch will fit a dart? I don't know. I don't think you get a 9-inch in like a Falcon. I don't have any idea. I don't care what it would be. I would get the narrowest one. I know that. Well, I wouldn't do an 8 3/4 with 355. If I was going to do what Dakota was going to do, I would get a 273 to drive it to the track and stick like a 456 in it at the track. That's what I would do. Why compromise when you have that reader? That's the whole point. That's what he's getting away from. Most of the Chevys and Pontiacs had 9-inch. Yeah, you could do a 9-inch Dakota. There's a lot of people have done that. Dakota's Daly's 50 years old. Yeah, cool. B&R is here. Glad you're here, man. Captain Do, jump in on the 30 Shorts 30 Days Challenge. That's it. You should do it. That's it. Mean Street, my newest is a 2003. My daily, that CRV is like really too new. It's a 2002. It's got a lot of stuff on it. It's going to make a one-way to the can when it fails. But the van's an 85. Drove it all day. 13 years average makes 2012 like a, yeah. 32 subs. Well, we all had 32 subs at one time. Big Bad Jones says, I don't want to drive any new vehicles. I hate them. Too much stuff on them. I agree with that. Man, my uncle has a truck that has this gigantic screen in the dash. I mean, I'm not exaggerating. I bet that screen is over a foot high. It's all this stuff. I don't want anything like that. And the problem is that a lot of the controls of the vehicle are integrated into these touch screens too. So when that stuff fails, I mean, can you even put your windows up, or can you have HVAC controls? I don't want to own anything like that. That's just me. I don't want to own anything like that. Turbo Tom says, avoid the new Wagoneer. 63 computers, all talking on 2 wires. Nope. I would not. You do not know how much I would not own that. B&R says, the number one issue with modern cars and SUVs, non-Mopar, Hemi LS, LT, GM, Ford Coyote, is timing chain failures. Okay. Unfinished Project says the 57 to 59 Ranchero station wagon, narrowest 9-inch housing. That's amazing that would be the narrowest housing. Wow. How would a Mustang housing not be narrower than that? Okay, a Hot Rod Guy Garage says narrowest 9-inch Ford is a 64 to 66 Mustang. There you go. Yeah, that sounds a whole lot more plausible. I would think the Ranchero, if anything, will be the widest. Big Bad Jones says people like us are going to be doing computer delete cinema in 30 years. Yeah. Tall Garage says he's never seen an LS timing chain fail. I know one thing. Calvin Nelson told me that would putting LS rockers on, and he said the aftermarket has yet to build a better rocker than these come with from the factory. Cool. There's some well-engineered stuff, but the well-engineered modern stuff is the simple stuff like that. There is a lot of great modern stuff. It's just it gets lost in all the complication of electronics that don't need to be there. The vehicles usually rot apart before the engines go bad. Yeah, with fuel injection and low tension rings and roller cams. Oh yeah, these engines last and they make good power and everything. Sean O'Brien says, howdy y'all. How's it going, Sean O'Brien? Okay, this is what RT211 is talking about. Okay, this is what Unfinished Project was talking about. RT211 says the 57 to 59 Ranchero was Falcon size. There you go. So if that was a Falcon Ranchero, yeah, if that had a 9-inch, it's definitely going to be narrower, even than the Mustang, probably. But yeah, the Mustang, Dakota, that would be a great pick for you. You could, I'm real sure that you could order that with your brackets on it. So it becomes a bolt-in. There are places you could order that with your brackets and your housing ends and bolted in. And I actually think, I don't know if Chris is still in here, but Fab Race Mod Repeat does that. And Tall Garage says you could do a aftermarket type ECU. Yeah, you could. I mean, you could. And he says the 57 to 59 Ranchero housing is the same, but a lighter duty housing, as is the smaller early Broncos. Well, that's good to know. So for the heavier duty housing, 64 to 66 Mustang, you can get them aftermarket. Sounds like the hot ticket, Dakota. Get that with your housing ends and spring perches, and you are ready to rock and roll. Okay. Unfinished project. I don't bet against Unfinished Project, that's for sure. Just Mopar Joe, thanks for swinging in. He says, all right, Mopar people, 104 days. Yeah. 103, 2 hours and 12 minutes. And you know Joe is ready right now. Anything you want to share with these people that you're working on? Joe says that feels like 3 months, because it is. Unfinished Project has put up a size chart here. For whatever you guys want, you can steel frame that and use it for whatever. And it's lunch break. BNR says, finally got out of working on modern day daily drivers. 100% diesel mechanic again. He does not like the junk they build today. Yeah, well, I'm not crazy about it either. And the prices they want for it, too. I am opting out. Blue Grit, here's a guy who knows some Ford stuff. Some Granadas and Mercury Monarchs in the early 80s had narrow 9-inch diffs when Ford was switching over to the 8.8s. Even the 6-cylinders with 275 gear. Well, bottom line is, Dakota, you've got some options for dropout center section you could order probably with your brackets and everything. And yeah, I'll just run out and get one of those 57 to 59 9-inch or some needs to give right. Yeah. Well, one nice thing, though, is you could find one that's not very desirable, that's wide, like from a truck or something, that gives you all the room you want to cut it and center the pinion and everything. That's what my buddy Robert used to do, is he would get the ones that were nobody cared for. Like, for instance, these C body 8 3/4 don't bring nearly as much money as an A body, but if you're going to put new ends on it, doesn't matter. Or one for a truck. Nobody wants the ones from a truck because spring perches are on the wrong side. But if you're going to put your perches, have to move them anyway, it doesn't matter. The 9-inch swap makes a lot of sense, Dakota, but I got to tell you, an 8 3/4 in your car would be smoking cool, and it would do everything you wanted it to do. And I'll tell you what, if you were to do an 8 3/4 swap on your car and bring it to Sykeston this year, I'll give you a center section to run there. I'll go through it, check it out, check out all the bearings and all that good stuff, and make sure you've got a fresh one with whatever gear you want to run when you get here. Dust Devil Garage says, is the creepy guy in the woods going to be at No Name Nationals this year? I don't know. Maybe. I went over and talked with him. He was a support guy for one of the other participants. I think that's who you're talking about. Dude who was camping by himself back in the woods. Eight 3/4 probably robs less power. Probably, yeah. In fact, I'm sure it does. Because if you look at the pinion engagement and how low the pinion is in a 9-inch, yeah, they eat up a lot of power. And a 9-inch actually has 3 bearings on the pinion. It's got the one little pilot one and the 2 bearings. So yeah, an 8 3/4 will eat less power than a 9-inch, but 9-inch is also really strong. Now Dakota says, I could steal the rear end out of Dad's 71 Torino. Probably be about the right size. But that'd be an easy one. That'd be an easy one to do, Dakota. Put something with a dropout center section in there. BNR says, for a while, GM guys were using Mopar 8 3/4. Oh, yeah. I mentioned that earlier before you got here, BNR. There was a guy in town here with a Vega. He had a little Vega wagon, drag wagon, and he had a Mopar 8 3/4 in it. You can still get truck housings, C-body housings quite reasonably. The A-body housing has gotten expensive. But the other ones that you need to cut down anyway. Mean Street Mopar wakes up when Joe comes into the chat. Sean O'Brien, does anyone have necessary no-name nationals car modifications they aren't excited about? I'm not looking forward to put in the extended lug studs in my cars. Datsun studs have to be the shortest lugs ever sold. Well, Sean, there's a lot of things. People need to fix their leaks in their cars. If your car is leaking, fix it. You need to fix it anyway. We don't want oil getting all over the track, and we don't want it all over there from the group photo. Fix your leaks, people. You need to fix them anyway. But as far as the studs, oh, Sean, I don't think you were in there when I showed these pictures. Let me show you what I had happen here, Sean. That is a Dorman lug nut on a factory stud and a factory wheel on my van. There are 3 threads in the hex portion, and without even torquing it down, you can see it's seated fully with those other lugs. Without even torquing it down, that nut snapped. I was nowhere near the torque wrench clicking on it. Nowhere near. All kinds of thread down in the wheel, but there's only 3 threads up there. So, you know what? That having to change the studs is an important step. And now that I know that the threads are so shallow in this van, I'm going to get some factory studs. I'm going to go longer on these. This is a factory stud. I'm going to go 1/2 to 5/8 longer on this, and I'm going to get some much better lug nuts than those Dorman junk lug nuts. Big Bad Jones needs an 8 3/4 B body housing. They're out there. Yes, there were little garden tractors made with 8 3/4. Sure enough, Cub Cadet used them. That's right. Evans Mopar says you can do an 8.8 out of a Ford Explorer. Yes, you can. However, Scott, that doesn't fix the problem of the dropout center section. Dakota wants one that he can put something like a 273 in and make a road trip and put a deep gear in it in a race and put the 273 back in for the road trip. Cushman, yeah, Cushman used 8 3/4 too, didn't it? Tell you something else using 8 3/4. There were some of the old snowcats that did. There's one at the Transportation Museum in Roanoke that has 8 3/4 front and rear because they're skid steer. And I think it had a 727 in it as well. Hippie Miller's got a 12 bolt with a 456. Yeah, doesn't fix the road trip part, but it just means there's less places you want to drive your car, Dakota. Unfinished project cracks me up. Captain Do, I would get left-hand lugs and studs that can pull those planning to steal my wheels, so they can just snap them all off. I mean, yeah, I was never a huge fan of the left-hand thread studs they did. I think it was 60. I know 69, 70 had it. I'm not sure on 71. I know 72 didn't. 68 may have also. DNR says the Dana 60-2 has semi-floating axles like a Mopar muscle car. Yeah, I did. That's right. I think I'm pretty sure I remember that. Evans Mopar says there are Mopar A-body swaps. Oh, McDonald's asking alternative opinion. Dart Freak 75. That guy put an 8.8 from an Explorer in his 75 Dodge Dart. And he used 2, I think, short side axle tubes because it's offset in that Explorer. And you can use that. And so, some spring perches and set your pinion angle and such. So there's a lot of people doing that swap. And they're doing it because A-body housings are so ridiculously expensive. That's why they're doing it. If A-body housings were still cheap, they wouldn't. B&R says they say Mopar 8 3/4 stock is stronger than the Chevy 12-bolt stock. I don't know. I know they're both good. And also it depends which pinion you have because you could get a 1 3/8, 1 3/4, or 1 7/8 pinion in the Mopar 8 3/4. And the 1 7/8 used a crush sleeve. So the hot ticket most people like is the tapered 1 7/8 pinion to make a solid spacer. That I think is the best deal. 8 1/4 will take a lot of abuse. It will. Not like an 8 3/4 though. Okay, 66 Dart had left-hand threads on the right side. No, left-hand. It was only left-hand threads on the driver's side. They were right-hand threads on the passenger side. If he had left-hand threads on the right side, that's been put on there. But I was thinking 66 was a little early for that anyway. I was thinking it was just 68 to 70 or 69, 71, somewhere right in there, those years. I know my 70 Swinger had the left-hand threads on the driver's side, and I changed them out. 489K supposedly strongest. Yeah, of course, 742. A lot of people run 742s. The only thing about the 489 is they had a crush sleeve for 489. And RT11 is exactly right. You eliminate the crush sleeve and use spacer and shims. Correct. And that's how I think you get the best of both worlds. And since we only have 27 seconds left, One-Eyed Cat says Max Wedge is live from the track right now if anyone is interested. So we're wrapping up here anyway. So with that, I wish you guys a good weekend. And you guys in the No Name 500 who are doing your shorts and having great success with them, stay after it. We'll see where you are next week. And I'm looking forward to seeing another week's worth of shorts from each of you guys and everyone else who's participating. I'm enjoying it. I'm doing it myself too. It's been a lot of fun. So with that, we're out. Y'all have a great weekend and take care.